Alright guys, welcome back to importing on how to import the keyblade into PMX PMD Editor. Now what we need to do first is we need to save this as a file that can be imported into PMX PMD, and that's what I'm going to teach you how to do. Very simple. What I need you to do now is hit File, Export, and then export as a OBJ. If you don't have this option, be sure to Google on how to get this option on your Blender. I think most Blenders should come with this already. If not, you need to find the script that allows you to do that. Basically click it, and it'll ask you where you want to save it to. We're going to save it to Project Keyblade, and I'm going to call it Neo Kingdom Key OBJ, which it has already conveniently named for me. So click Export OBJ, and just wait a few moments. After that's done, you want to go File, New, Reload Startup File, delete this box thingy, you don't want it, so to delete it you hit X and delete, done. File, Import, OBJ, Project Keyblade, Neo Kingdom Key. Alright, and after that's been done, what you want to do is, so this is basically in perspective mode. Remember I told you in the first video, perspective, author, hit 5 to go to author mode on the num key pad. And then what you can do is you can now have a look at it like that. Now what I need you to do is click anywhere on the model. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter if you click the top, the bottom, or I don't know, just click anywhere on the model. Alright, so that something is highlighted. Hit A on the keyboard, hit A until you highlight everything, then hit Control J, and then everything is joined. Now what I need you to do is click on the keyblade, so right click on the keyblade, File, Export, and then you need to have this plugin, which I talked about in the previous video about looking for this script. Right, so you click Export as PMD. Right, so it's exported. I'm gonna go to my desktop now. So it's here. There's no name for it yet. Let's call it something. Neo Kingdom... oh, I can't spell. Kingdom Key. Okay, done. So now, before we can import it into PMD, we have to import it into PMX because it has, texture problems for some weird reason. But anyway, before we do that, drop it into a folder that has all the textures. So that will be here. I'm just gonna make a quick folder for it. Neo Kingdom Key. So the textures consist of this, and this, and you need the file. So put it into the same folder. Open PMX Editor. Pop the model into here. So Neo Kingdom Key, drag and drop it into PMX Editor, hit OK, and it will come up like that. And you may be thinking, what the hell happened to my precious keyblade? So what you need to do now is you need to go to Materials, wait for it to come up, click on any of the materials, hit Control A, click two-sided, and unclick the shaded and self-map. So the only thing that should be ticked is the two-sided. Then down here, when you have this this blank drop box, you want to select Tune 7. Then up here, what you want to do is change the top row into ones. Change the middle rows to zeros. And then change the bottom rows to ones. I don't know why it does that, just do as I say and you'll have, ta-da! There you go, it's been fixed. All the textures have been corrected. This only works in PMX Editor, so you have to do it in PMX Editor. It does not work in PMD Editor. Alright, so I think it would be great for you to use both PMX and PMD Editor. Now from here, you can either rig your bones on PMX Editor, or you can rig your bones on PMD Editor. PMX Editor doesn't allow me to rig bones for some reason, like it doesn't like me. So I'm going to jump over to PMD Editor. But before I do, I'm going to save this first. So you go File, come on, File. You have to export, not save as, because if you go save as, it will only give you PMX as an option. And the last time I checked, PMD Editor does not read PMX files. So you have to go File, Export, and key, and then from here you hit .pmd. And then you hit Save. Neo Kingdom Key.pmd already exists. Do you want to replace it? Click yes. And hit OK. And then close off everything. You don't need anything for now. Okay. Now open PMD Editor. Laggy computer. It's an old computer that my brother and father use, so I'm only on it because it runs MMD. My laptop doesn't run MMD, which is sad. So Neo Kingdom Key PMD. Open it here, select OK, and now we have it. Okay? Beautiful, isn't she? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to change the name. Let's call it Neo Kingdom Key. I will add the notes later. So the notes down here will involve the copyright, you know, like it's going to have to include Martyr Curious, as well as the original author, original designer, etc. And you know, just all the general stuff about not redistributing, no copying parts, etc. You know, I mean, of course, you spend time to make something, you don't want other people to take credit for it, right? All right. So Neo Kingdom Key in GE, and you also want to do it in ENGL. So you can change the comment parts later. So don't worry, that's not a big problem. In here, you want to unclick V, and you want to click B. B for Bones. Not the TV show character though. Bones, right click, add, at bottom, change it to Romov, and then change the top part to master. So this will be the master bone. From here, I want you to move it so there will be a, like if you used PMD or PMX Editor before, you will know that it doesn't allow you to do it at first. You have to click on it. And sometimes it doesn't work, so you have to highlight it and it will let you click like that. You can move it upwards, move it all the way up into the center of the handle. And the reason why you put it there is because when you use the OP function on Miku Miku Dance, you can attach it to the hand of a Miku Miku Dance model. So that's basically where it will attach the hand, or that's basically where the hand will attach to when you choose to use the OP function. From master, click it once, right click, add, connect, and then put in a ridiculously high number, say 25. Where did it go? Okay, there it is. Now I want you to highlight it, drag it down so that it just reaches the tip of the keyblade. Tip of the keyblade, right? Click the top one, click the bottom one, change the name to master, and whoops, master end. Sounds like master entrance. Has anyone here played .hackgu? Master N! Master N! Master N! Okay, never mind. Okay, what was I gonna do? Okay, this one you have to change from Romov to hidden. So that it just ends at a point. There's no bone there. You don't want people moving that part. You only want people moving that part. That part up there is just meant to be like a guide to show people which direction it's pointing towards. But if you want to know where the bone is, just click this button here. It says hidden, and it will show all hidden bones, which is up there. Alright, cool. So now next up we will now be doing bones for the chain. We'll do the rigging, the weighting, you know, not the weighting, as in like, you know, weight, W-E-I-G-H-T-I-N-G, the weighting for the bones, and then we will insert physics and we shall be done afterwards. I think estimated time probably half an hour. Anyway, we'll see how fast we can go, okay? I've been talking for the whole day. Okay, where was I? Okay, that's it. Now we want to add a bone at the bottom, right? Parent is 0. Just for the first one. You want to call this first one chain 1. Name chain 1. Alright? And then from here, whoops. You want to move it. Move it all the way up to where you want the chain to pivot. So I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it there, because that way the chain will swing back and forth from this pivot point. From there, you want to go right click on this part again, add, connect, and this time you want to call it chain 2. Chain 2. And for this part, the Y, usually I drop it by 0.1. So if it's 3.1, you hit 3.0. And you can see it there, because 3.1 is up there, 3.0 is down there. So now you can move it to the next pivot point, which is there. And this next pivot point will pivot the next chain segment, which is this chain. So this one is for this chain, this one is for this chain, and you just keep going until you hit the bottom. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. So you can watch if you want. Add, connect, chain 3, copy, paste, chain 3. It's 2.8, so I'll drop it by 0.1, 2.7. Move this down to the pivot point here, and just rinse and repeat. Add, connect, chain 4, chain 4, drop it by 0.1, 2.4, whoops, and then drag it down to here, and then add, connect again, so it'll be chain 5, chain 5, chain 5, drop it by 0.01, 0.1, so it's 2.1. Come on. Now we have it here, and just keep going. I know it takes a bit of a time, but you know. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please. What am I doing? Chain 7, chain 7. 6. Chain 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So I've counted it correctly. Counted. Whoops. Move you down to here. Pivot point. Okay. Looks like the next pivot point is going to have to be here. Smack bang in this junction. So we'll add another one. Chain 9. Chain 9. I'll be at 1. So it's there. Gotta move it. Oops. Gotta move it down a bit. Come on. Move it down. Oh, come on. Here we go. And then the last one will be, we're just gonna go all the way down. So the last one we're gonna call charm. Charming. Charm. And this one you just hit 0. But you can move it up if you want. That's what I'm gonna do. So highlight it and you just move it up to the tip of the charm, which is approximately there. And there you have it. Click on charm and change it to... No. Change chain 9. Chain 9 should be charm. Because if you have a look at bone chain 9, that's the actual charm itself. So that should be called charm. So that bone's charm, and this last one should be hidden. Hidden, and we should call it end. Because it's the end of things. The end! Okay, I'll stop now. Charm 1, just to make sure the connections are correct. So chain 1 connects to 0, which is master, but it connects to number 3, which is chain 2. And chain 2 should connect to chain 1. Chain 3, good. Chain 3 connects to chain 2 and chain 4, good. 3, 5, 4, 6, yep, yada 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 yada. Beautiful. As for end, usually the parent is the previous link that you had, and the child is just 0. So you just leave it as it is. Alright, so now we have the bones done. Now it's time for us to weight the bones. To weight the bones, because at the moment, if you don't weight the bones, you won't move anything. Like so. Let me show you. Test model. Okay, so we will try and move this. Okay, this will move though, because the master one is automatically rigged. So it looks pretty cool, right? That's Japanese. It says risetto. Reset. Here we will move this bone, and if you have a look carefully here, you will note that nothing's rigged. I mean, yeah, it's not weighted, so nothing moves. So what we need to do is we need to assign. We need to say, okay, what part of the model is connected to that bone? That's what we call as weighting. So we're going to try and weight this now. Alright, so close the test screen. Don't close that, you need this. Save. Yes. Yes. View. Not view. View. Vertex materials. Hit this green thing. This green thing shows all the vertex. You know the vertices that we made on Blender? So these are all the vertices. Not the edges, just the vertices. And from here we just wanna isolate the chain and charm. So that's the chain. And that's the charm. Is there anything else? That's the circular chain. That's the circular chain. Nope, we don't need that. What does that do? Nope, that's the blade. Don't need that. Nope, we don't need the handle. So we just need the chain and the charm, because that's what the physics are. That's where the physics are going to be rigged at. Okay. So now we need to think. Like on a creative scale. We are going to rig chain 1. Okay. We are going to rig chain 1. Open the W for weighting. Right. And hit go. But make sure before you hit go, make sure that the highlighted one is chain 1. Alright. That basically means parent. And that bottom one means child. So the parent bone and the child bone, and that's the current bone that you want to work with. Hit go, and basically you want to think, this is the bone we're rigging, right? So we want to move this segment, but moving this segment moves that segment, and moving that segment also moves that segment, and that segment also moves that segment. So therefore, in other words, to weight this bone, we have to rig everything underneath it. So everything underneath is rigged by that same bone. Okay, like that. Just make sure that you've highlighted. So if you do a mistake, you can hit this one here. So the closed circle is basically means to weight, and this one means to unweight. And when you unweight something, it turns blue. So yeah. So we're gonna weight everything. Okay. And once that's done, you can click on this screen here and hit chain 2. Now here's where you need to be a bit more crafty with your thinking. Chain 2 covers this chain, but it does not cover that chain. So you must only rig the vertices from this chain below. So it will include this chain. It will include this chain. It will include this chain, and everything underneath it. If you flip it to the side, it won't include this top one, so you ignore the top one, but you rig this one because this is under the bone, so this one is included as well. So everything underneath it, okay? So everything except for, can you see how that one isn't rigged? Like this one isn't included in weighting, so we ignore it. Because this bone will move everything from here underneath it. Okay, so we've done chain 2, let's move on to chain 3. And I mean, the principles apply, same principles apply. So we are including this chain. That's one. And everything else underneath it. And we have to be careful about which one we include. So we don't include the first 2 chains. So this is chain number 3. There we go. And if you're not satisfied and you want to check to see if you've done it correctly or not, you can go to View, Test Model, Reset, and you can have a look at your model here. And look, it moves, right? So we've only rigged the first 3. So chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3 have been rigged. But chain 4 has not been rigged yet. So we will, push on and do the others. So chain 4, go. 君が世界に存在してる意味は知りたくないバックバックビリンハートバックバックバニンハートタンタンタンそこに隠れてても何も始まんない 閉ざされただと青空足で壊せよ目に見える不安を数えて止まらないで This one I mean, after a while reading enough keyblades, you probably get the gist of it. When I started out, I was really slow. It took me like 3 days, 2 days. I'm a slow learner, so it took me a while to get it right. Okay, so that's chain 5, chain 6, chain 6 is that chain, and circular chain underneath it. Right, yes, and the charm. Cool, and now we have chain 8, which is the circular chain only, so we can turn off, whoops, we need that, we can turn off everything above it. So chain 8 only includes the circular chain and the charm, so we can turn off anything we don't need. And now for the charm, I can turn off the circular chain. Okay, so it's only the charm. Only the charm. There you have it. All done. It has all been weighted. That didn't take too long. Deselect go to show that you're finished your weighting. Click the cross box. From here, click the top one. This means select all. Alright? Close this, and then uncheck the VR, which means vertex. And now we can test it to see if it worked or not. So go to view, go to test model, hit reset, and then just check each of the joints to make sure that it's been rigged properly. Yep. Yup. Yup. Uh-huh. And yeah. Are you happy with what you're seeing? Because I am. No, that's life. You can't take everything seriously, otherwise you'll go completely mad.